The following is an exclusive presentation of WI Garden Media, celebrating 10 years of being the voice of Garden Talk Radio. Coming up on the program today, we're going to be talking about how you can revitalize an old garden bed, as well as dealing with some garden myths, eggshells, and banana water. Our guest is CEO and co-founder of BeetleGone.com. John Libs will be with us, and we'll answer your garden questions, so join us.
You are listening to the most informationally packed hour of garden-focused radio in the country and on the internet with your host, husband and wife team Joey and Holly Baird. This is the Gardening with Joey and Holly radio show. And welcome to another edition of the Gardening with Joey and Holly radio show. Happy to have you along. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to join us for a little bit. I am your host, Joey Baird. Beside me is my wife, co-host, best friend, and gardening partner,
Holly Baird.
This program is for you, about you, to help your garden grow better, to maintain your landscape, grow healthier trees, make your grass look greener, as well as preserving what you grow. Happy you're tuning in, whether you're listening to us on one of the 42 AM and FM frequencies broadcasting our program here in 2026, through a radio app, through our parent website, thewisconsinvegetablegardener.com, underneath the Season 10 tab at the top of the page, podcast replay or in-studio video replay. Thank you so much for choosing us today. If you want to be part of the program, you can certainly do that by sending us an email to gardentalkradio@gmail.com. That's gardentalkradio@gmail.com. Send us your question or let us know where you're listening from. You can also give us a call toll-free, coast to coast, at 1-800-927-SHOW. That's 1-800-927-7469. Before we get in the program, Holly, it's time for this week's Joke of the Week.
All right, why was the potato so quiet?
Something about its ear. No, it would be eyes, not ears. Because he couldn't.
It was a meditator. Like, it's a meditator.
Play on words, like not your cheese type of thing. Yeah.
Nacho cheese.
Yeah.
This week's garden joke is brought to you by Rescue.com, American-made rescue products. Keep your family, home, and yard protected from pests such as wasps, hornets, yellow jackets, flies, ants, and more. Learn more at Rescue.com. That's RESCUE.com.
Now, we had this question come in a couple of weeks ago, and it was a conversation that is worthy of a topic of a segment here. An individual wrote in and they wanted to revitalize or restructure their...
Should I ask the question?
Yeah, you can go ahead and ask the question.
All right. In the past, I tried black plastic.
No. I want to restructure.
Sorry, I missed that part. I want to resurrect a 15 by 35 feet former vegetable garden that has turned into a prolific weed bed of 6-foot tall thistles, tall weeds with golden flowers or small daisy flowers, tall grass, etc. Last year I had to try to dig and weed a small area, but the weeds regrew with a vengeance. What suggestions do you have to restore this mess so it can become a delicious garden? Okay, so everybody at some point, if you haven't had this situation, congratulations, you get 10 points in a game that doesn't mean anything and points don't matter. But we've all kind of had this if you've moved into a new home or you've taken a break and then you come back and going, okay, I'm going to garden again. Okay, here is this mess. What do I do? There's several options in which you can recreate, revitalize, restructure your garden bed. One is a solarizing procedure. Now, some people will say use black plastic. However, you want to use clear plastic, and it will act as a greenhouse, getting very hot with water added before you cover it up. It's like a 4 mil plastic, and it will help steam the weeds. They will grow, but they will start to back down and start to die off from the heat. Now, this is going to kill everything, your microbial life. The worms are going to go elsewhere, but you're going to start with more of a, quote unquote, sterile environment once these weeds die down and the steam and the heat, just like a hot greenhouse in the summer. It's 127 degrees, and what plants you had in there that you forgot or didn't water has all just, burp. Yeah. So you also want to avoid deep tilling. Right. The urge is, and I've done this growing up, and some of us have done this now, and I've done this, mow it down, till it up, pull some roots out. Okay, it's a clean canvas. Let's plant.
When you do that, roots and weeds of roots are very prolific. They are designed to, at all costs, survive and thrive. So there are some weeds that, when cut, the roots, tilled up, each one of those root fibers or particles of a root is designed by nature to regenerate, put off more roots, and shoot up a new plant. So now, instead of having one weed, now you have hundreds of weeds because you've chopped that root system up and pulverized it into multiple little fragments. That's just one example. Additionally, there are weed seeds in your garden that can lay dormant up to 80 years. There's going to be a certain amount of weeds that are going to come up. Birds, you track them in, wind blows, they're just there. It's going to happen. So we want to start working on purging the bed. By doing this, going in with a garden fork or at minimum a shovel and digging these plants out. Preferably, since we're in the early portions of the year, now is the time. If it's June, July, or August, we're already the war has been. We've lost the war. As these weeds begin to start, the thistles and the grasses and whatever you've got, start pulling them up. Start working in a designated, 3 or 4 square foot area here or there, and start pulling them as they're coming up. Get ahead of it. Work and make sure if it hasn't rained, water it down to make it nice and pliable where those roots will come out. You're going to have to do this 3, 4, 5 times, but eventually, after a certain period of time, you're going to be able to have this bed in a much more usable, manageable situation.
Right. It does take time. It takes a lot of work, processing, whatever you want to call it.
Other people will say, okay, well, as the weed, just spray them with a weed killer.
Right.
Now, there are weed killers that are, everybody knows what it is. It's got glyphosate in it. And based on what you read and who you read it from, it can lay in the soil for either 60 days, 2 days, a year. Who knows how long that toxicity stays in the soil. And if your plants are not agricultural plants, because you're not on a farm, you don't have soybeans or corn or clover or alfalfa that is conducive to accepting that chemical and growing through it, but killing all the weeds around it, your tomatoes, your eggplants, your peppers, your potatoes are not going to do well. And if they do anything, they might suck some of that chemical up. So there are, quote unquote, more natural on the market. What we recommend is Nat Green products. It is a all-natural weed killer that it burns the plant from the leaves down, non-selective, so you may have to apply it a couple of times, but it is the safest route in going if you're going to do this on a bed of this size, 15 by 30, or spot spray, such as in your sidewalk or cracks or patio porch, or anything like that. From natgreenproducts.com. Main page, you're going to see a coupon code. You're going to get free shipping on orders over $50. Phenomenal product. So keep that in mind if you're looking at that. So it is one of these things that, again, it's in the spring of the year, we can get ahead of this. If you are July or August and these weeds are 6 foot tall, no matter what you do, you're not going to achieve the goal of getting these weeds out.
Is the time to get going on planning for how you're going to tackle these weeds, and also maybe wrapping your head around choosing a different thing rather than tilling your soil.
Now, if I said, okay, here's my situation, what am I going to do? I'm going to go in there in the spring of the year when the soil is damp and the soil can fall away from the roots, take my garden fork in there and diligently work through the bed. Pulling, spade down, flip the soil, pull all the root follicles up, because those roots from like the thistles are going to be there from last year, and they're going to start sprouting again off that main root system that they have built in there. If you've got grasses like fescue, or I call it a wiregrass, I know that's not the technical term, you should be able to get a lot of that out initially. And then if you want to...
Wiregrass is the grass that... It looks like grass, but it's not like, it kind of grows in patches. in your weed bed, whatever you want to call it. And then underneath is all these roots that are interconnected.
Right. Looks like a giant spider that those, if you cut and let lay, they will sprout again in multiple chunks. And there's a lot of weeds that do that. So it's not there's not a simple golden rule, do this and you'll have success. It's going to be a process over time, but keeping up on it early in the spring, plant weed, you can get in front of this and you can have a very successful garden. Now, after you've weeded, if the bed is low, in this instance, the raised bed, or even ground garden, you want to bring in some compost, put an inch or two or top the raised bed off, go ahead and do that. Yes, weeds are going to, the stronger ones are going to penetrate through that inch to 4 inches of compost, whatever you put over top of the bed, but it will choke out some of them. And then in combination with mulching, you're still going to have weeds, but the percentage of weeds over the course of this year, next year, 2 years down the road is going to be on the downward slope compared to where it was before you got started or last summer whenever you saw the 6 foot tall weeds, grass, and thistles. When we return, we're going to talk and tackle some garden myths. Banana water, eggshells? Yeah, we're going to talk about that.
You're tuned into the Gardening with Joey and Holly radio show.
Have a garden question? Give Joey and Holly a call now or anytime 24/7. Just dial 1-800-927-SHOW. If you can't get through, leave a message and they will call you back. Call now 1-800-927-SHOW.
You've upgraded your tools, your plants, even your soil. Why not upgrade the way you control mosquitoes? Instead of spraying chemicals that harm bees, butterflies, and pets, choose a smarter science-based approach. Biogen's mosquito traps uses proven attractants to target mosquitoes without fogging your yard or harming pollinators. It's precision control for gardeners who care about the environment. Rethink mosquito control. Learn more at biogens.com. That's BIOGENTS.com.
Garden like a pro in 3 easy steps and receive customized fertilizer recommendations for your garden or lawn. Soil Savvy helps you determine what nutrients your plants need to thrive. Never again over-apply nutrients they don't need. A patented process that makes you a smart gardener. To get your soil test kit, go to mysoilsavvy.com. Wind River Chimes will always be the inspiring harmony. With a large selection and customization options, you will find the sound that soothes you. Visit windriverchimes.com to shop and find out more.
MyRootmaker.com has the tools to start your plants off right and keep them growing through harvest. From their seed starting trays with an innovative design that air prunes the roots to their large variety of grow bags, 1 to 60 gallons. Get the harvest you've never seen before. Visit MyRootmaker.com and use coupon code RADIO26 to save 10% off your order at myrootmaker.com.
Got milkweed? You already know it helps monarchs migrate, but did you know milkweed supports people too? If you've ever wished your body could bounce back faster, this is your sign. From backyard to bedside, people trust milkweed balm for soothing joints, tired muscles, and healthy, feel-good skin. Try it and feel the difference today. Find milkweed balm at milkweedbalm.com or on Amazon. Azure Standard is America's premier family-owned online store for organic foods and healthy products for your home and garden. They deliver directly to families and businesses through more than 3,500 drop points across all 50 states, making it easy to get everything you need in one simple pickup. As a natural health food distributor, Azure brings bulk and specialty items to communities nationwide. They offer more than 12,000 products that meet their clean ingredient standards, high quality, non-GMO, organic, and naturally sourced. You'll find everything from groceries, health and beauty items, and household essentials to nutritional supplements, animal care, hobby supplies, and even gardening products. Simply put, Azure Standard has something for just about every part of daily living. Visit azurestandard.com and use promo code JoeyandHolly15 at checkout to get 15% off your first order of $100 or more when you open a new account and ship to the drop location of your choice. Visit azurestandard.com. That's AZURE standard.com. Broma's home to the Squirrel Buster brand of truly squirrel-proof bird feeders. When a squirrel lands on the Squirrel Buster, its weight automatically closes the seed ports denying access to the seed but not harming the squirrels. They have a beautiful line of bird feeder pole systems, a perfect addition to any vertical garden or flower tower garden. The poles can hold bird feeders, hanging planters, and even hummingbird feeders to create an easy, beautiful garden ecosystem in your yard. They design products that are simple to use, built to last a long time, and are backed by lifetime care to extend the life of their products. Visit brome.com for more information.
Mantis garden tiller cultivators are the perfect solution for any garden. With their gas-powered 2-cycle or 4-cycle engine, these powerful machines can till 9 or 16 inches of land without you breaking a sweat. And it doesn't stop there. Mantis's optional attachments allow you to aerate, plow, and more with the snap of a finger. Engineered with durability in mind, Mantis tiller cultivators will be your guaranteed garden companion for a long time. You can find more out and details at mantis.com. Welcome back to the Gardening with Joe and Holly radio show. Happy to have you around today. Thank you for taking a little time out of your day to join us. If you want to find out more about those sponsors you've heard and their coupon code availability, you can go to our parent website, thewisconsinvegetablegardener.com, thewisconsinvegetablegardener.com, and click on the Money tab at the top of the page and Season 10 tab for all listings. Well, every time, there's the internet is a wonderful place for a lot of good information, but also a terrible place for bad information to spread rapidly. And that is what we find in the gardening world, that there are things in which that is shared for whatever reason that have no backing whatsoever. And now we have scientists to prove that there is no evidence that this works the way it has been presented. But yet, when you share the information from those scientists saying, hey, this doesn't work, the anger that other gardeners have towards you is very...
they just don't. They cannot.
I've been doing this for 10 years, and the results are amazing.
They can't be convinced otherwise, basically. So there's a lot of claims for a lot of things, and sometimes it's not worth arguing with the old-timey.
Put the link up. Yeah. And let them stew in their own disappointment.
Right. So there's this thing that banana peel water.
Yeah, banana peel water.
Is supposed to add nitrogen to your
potassium
to your plants, to your soil.
You soak the banana peels in water for a fill-in-the-blank duration period of time, and then you take that water that is supposed to be loaded with potassium, and you water your house plants or your in-ground, your plants, whatever, and the magic just begins.
Right. So that's the idea behind it, but it comes down to there's no scientific evidence that this banana peel water, or just even sometimes banana peel itself, like if you think that you're going to put a banana peel around your plants and it's going to feed them potassium, is not a thing. Banana is 80% water, and so the claim is that the potassium level will increase by 42% with the banana peel water. Now,
if you want to find out where we're getting this from, you go to your favorite search engine and type in Garden Myth Banana Peel Water. Robert Pavlis, Pavlis,
I think so, yeah.
Who does this for a living. We've had him on the show a couple of years ago, and he studies this. He does this. He proves the evidence, and he takes from peer research studies from across the country and around the world, compiles the data along with his to prove or disprove these garden quote-unquote hacks or tips or whatever we want to call them.
Right. So the claim is that it's 42% potassium level.
Some sites say 42% potassium.
In this banana peel water. And it's not possible because the banana is 80% water, the banana peel. And
that's called fuzzy math.
Right. It's very fuzzy math. And also then it's like if you drink this water, it's good for you. You're going to do all this stuff. It has beneficial health things. But if you actually look at it, the important question is like, are these banana peels slightly, even significantly more nutritious than any other source of organic matter or beneficial than any other organic matter? But they're not. These are very vague claims. There's no science. There's no anything that like indicates like it has this nutritional whatever. It has this much. What does high mean? Does high mean high compared to
an arbitrary number.
Yeah.
So the MPK value of a banana peel is 0.6, 0.1, and 11.5. But this is the value of a dried skin, since all of the above values in what we're talking about is considered wet or soaking in water. So you calculate that out from the dry weight, and the MPK of a fresh banana peel is a fifth of that. He does all the math breaks down, but basically what you're getting if you soak banana peels in water is an MPK of 0.1, 0.1, 2.3 on a really good run, on a really good mixture of a high potassium, really rich banana peel.
Right.
So
that's the banana peel.
Now, here, a couple of things. If you soak your banana peels in water and think you're getting a wonderful benefit from them, that is called the placebo effect, because you are seeing an effect that you have created in your own mind. We're not psychiatrists or psychologists or whatever you want to call it.
It's basically, so the placebo effect is that you take this magic pill, banana water, whatever,
right,
and you hear that it's going to make you
so there's subconsciously your brain is already saying, I see an effect because I've been told by these sources that it's going to do this. So now I'm looking for that. I can see it.
And sometimes it's just like a weird correlation, like your brain tricking you, or in this case of banana peel water, you are probably just drinking more water. So you might have more.
So
you might have more.
Well, you're not drinking. You're watering the plants.
Well,
with
right,
it.
but some people do drink it. Yeah. But you're watering the plants. So maybe the plants need water.
Is it negatively impacting the plant's growth? No. Is it providing any value to it? Minute, if anything. So we can soak our banana peels. We can soak them for 24 hours, 36, 96 hours, and pour that water on our house plants or our seedlings, whatever. That's great. It may help minutely. The best situation for those banana peels is either ground compost, dig a trench, throw them in your compost bin, and let them break down into break them down with all the other scraps that you've got, your greens and your browns, and move on with life, and just water the plants as you would without even any knowledge of soaking banana peels.
You save yourself a step.
Some people are like, I've already done it. We're just, facts are sometimes facts, and yeah.
Right.
Eggshells.
This is Joey's favorite myth.
There's a lot of different situations where people online say, do this with an eggshell for this purpose. Put eggshells down around your plant, and that will prevent slugs from attacking your plants. Again, we're finding this information from Robert Pavlis. How do you say it? Pavlis. Pavlis. You can go to eggshell garden myth in your search engine, and it'll pull this up.
Let's talk about this. So
the eggshells do not have sharp edges like people have claimed. And he's done studies, and he explains this in this study where he's put eggshells around, and he's watched the snails and the slugs just slather right through them without any effect or slowdown at all.
Right. So I think let's focus here on using them to feed your soil, essentially. So let's talk about that, because I've actually never heard the slug eggshell thing, but I think most people have heard about using it around their tomato plants or
calcium.
Whatever.
It's supposed to have calcium and prevent blossom end rot and all this other wonderful stuff.
So basically, eggshells, so you got to think about what's in eggshells, right? So they do contain nutrients that are in plants. Mm-hmm. They do contain 34% calcium, 0.3% magnesium, 0.04% phosphorus, and 0.03% potassium. And then they also contain 0.05% sodium and 5% organic matter.
So they do have some elements of beneficial properties.
Right. So then when you look at an eggshell, they have the hard outer shell and the soft inner skin. And the inner skin is what contains the most organic matter. It can be even 5% higher if they're not washed out. So if you take an egg and you don't wash it out, it's going to have the higher organic matter. And then the organic matter contains nitrogen in the form of proteins, which is very useful to plants after they decompose. So if you are going to add eggshells to your garden, you want to not rinse them and just keep them as they are. I mean, you can break them up, but that's how you want to
An eggshell
do that.
can take up to 18 months to break down. You will see this, and if you've been on social media at all in any garden groups, you will see, I've saved all my eggshells for 6 months, and they've got a gallon or 2 gallon jar full of pulverized powdered eggshells that they've dried and ground up into in a coffee grinder and put in this, and they're going to put it around the plants or put it underneath the plants or whatever that case is. In any type of breakdown compostable material, the smaller the fragments of the item, the quicker it's going to break down, the sooner that value that it contains can be released into the soil for microbes to break down and to feed the plants. However, again, like the banana peel water, the amount of value that these eggshells contain compared to regular compost, compared to a bag of organic 358 or 273 compost, is it really worth the effort of all the energy of drying the eggshell, saving the eggshell, pulverizing the eggshell, rather than just going out, taking 3 or 4 from breakfast and heaving them in the compost bin and letting it break down over the course of the time period in which it takes?
Right. So that's the eggshell situation for adding to your compost pile, using it as organic matter. There's this rumor that it helps with blossom end rot, and the rumor is that you add the eggshells to the soil for the tomatoes and eggplants, and the necessary calcium will prevent the blossom
will be taken up by the plant and prevent and cause the plant to grow fully and develop fruit without any black and sunken in bottom at all.
Right. So that's the thought, and that's not true. You would need to probably have the whole plant surrounded by eggshells. I'm not really
poundages
sure.
And poundages.
Yeah, pounds.
Well, he went on the program. He talked about people put tums underneath their tomato plants, and his study and other studies, you would need 80 tums per plant in order to get the correct amount of calcium released, and it's just a watering issue. It's
a calcium deficiency, but it is a watering issue.
Because
we should really talk about that, because so people aren't confused. You just want to make sure that you are watering consistently. A lot of people, what happens is people will plant their tomatoes. It usually gets rainy, and then all of a sudden most people get like a dry, not a drought, but like
time
a dry
period.
spell, dry time period, and they don't think about watering properly, whatever, and that's when blossom end rot occurs, because the calcium is not, the plants are unable to pick up that calcium from the soil. So then that's when blossom end rot happens.
And when you water, the calcium now can travel and to be ingested into the plant through the roots and the whole deal, and then the next set of fruit is fine. And I watered.
But they think that they added XYZ and that fixed it, but they watered it in.
Part of the placebo effect.
Right, exactly. So that's what blossom end rot is. You can add all the eggshells to your soil if you want, but either way, you still have to water your plants. And that's the thing, is people don't realize how important it is to water correctly, water frequently, water regularly, and do it the correct way.
Well, doing it the correct way is keeping the soil, the dirt, the sand, the salt out of your house, your cabin, your barn, with an American-made product.
So Scrusher has a durable shoe cleaner, outdoor shoe cleaner. It's a brush station that is built with a weather-resistant steel frame and black UV powder-coated finish for year-round use. They have a deluxe model. They have big boot model. They have all sorts of great models. You can put it outside any of your entryways. Just take your boot, shoe, whatever, run it through the Scrusher a couple times, and you will have a nice clean sole of your boot. If you go to scrusher.com and use code NOMOREDIRT5 to save 5% off and free shipping at checkout.
Hang out with us when we return. CEO and co-founder of BeetleGone.com and GrubGone.com, John Libs, will be with us.
You're tuned into the Gardening with Joey and Holly radio show.
Got a question for Joey and Holly? Send it via email anytime to gardentalkradio@gmail.com.
Goodbye biting bugs and plant invaders. No More Bugs by Naturally Green Products is your answer. No More Bugs is DEET-free and not sticky on your skin. USDA certified, No More Bugs has been a favorite by consumers across the country for over 14 years. More than a repellent, it is safe for you, your plants, pets, and home. Available online at nomorebugs.net, Amazon, Walmart.com, and the Home Shopping Network. David J. Frank, Southeastern Wisconsin's leading landscape company, is a landscaper you need. Their award-winning services include everything from lawn care, landscape maintenance, design, construction, renovation, irrigation, sustainability, and more. Big or small, let the experts at David J. Frank handle the hard work for you. Find out more at davidjfrank.com.
If you could double the life of your raised bed boxes by sealing the wood with a clear, non-toxic wood preservative, would you? Well, now you can with a clear, penetrating product called Internal Wood Stabilizer. It's 100% non-toxic and easy to apply. Seal your untreated wood surfaces, even chicken coops, by spraying on Internal Wood Stabilizer. It's invisible, seals the wood from the inside out, and never wears off. Recommended by organic gardening experts. Internal Wood Stabilizer. Check it out at timberprocoatingsusa.com. Check out ivorganics.com. It's America's leading garden product YouTube channel. IV Organic products are innovative, organic, effective, and proudly USA made to help you achieve your best growing season. Use coupon code RADIO10 at checkout and save 10% on your entire order at ivorganics.com. That coupon code again is RADIO10 to save 10% on your order at ivorganics.com.
Get in your garden with Diggs. From gardening gloves to accessories, storage, organization, and more, Diggs products combines form and function with a splash of fashion and are ideal for women who possess a passion for plants and enjoy harnessing the beauty of nature. Steeped in color and pattern, Diggs gloves are inspired by nature and are designed to protect your most valuable assets, your hands. Get your Diggs on at diggsgardening.com, the Home Depot, Amazon, and search for it by name, DIGZ, diggsgardening.com.
Stop poisoning your soil. Green Grow is different from most garden brands because we do not rely on chemical shortcuts. We use beneficial biology and organic inputs to rebuild soil naturally, so your garden gets healthier every year, not dependent on more products. Stronger plants, fewer problems, better food. Check out our complete line of organic fertilizers and potting soils today. Visit thegreengrow.com and breathe life into your soil. That's TheGreenGro.com. Check us out on Instagram as well at The Green Grow. Say goodbye to weeds. Easily remove them, roots and all, with the unique design of the Cobra-Head Hand Cultivator, recognized as the world's leading hand weeding tool. Simple design, lightweight, made from forged tempered steel for easy extraction of weeds, plant seeds, rows, and more. Visit cobrahead.com and use coupon code SOIL for 10% off your order at cobrahead.com. Coupon code valid 1 per customer.
Make watering easy. DripWorks provides quality drip irrigation supplies and equipment to gardeners just like you for all your growing needs across the U.S. and Canada. Purchase online at dripworks.com.
Jung Seed Company is a family-owned and operated gardening company since 1907 with the largest selection of seeds and plants online. Use coupon code 15TG26 to save 15% off your order at jungseed.com. That's JUNGSEED.com. Welcome back to the Garden with Joey and Holly radio show. Happy to have you along. Want more information about those companies and their coupon code availability? Our parent website, thewisconsinvegetablegardener.com, under the Season 10 tab and the Money tab for coupon codes and all listings. Before we get to going to the hotline and talking with John Libs, we got to talk about keeping our hands clean from our good friends at scrubbysoap.com.
Yeah, Scrubby is a natural soap with a scrubber inside that fills the entire bar of the soap. So rather than using a harsh synthetic chemicals, the soap is made with citrus oil, and then it's a combination of citrus oil, soap, and the scrubber that creates the ultimate soap for removing dirt, grease, oil, etc. You can use it. Artists, painters use it. Gardeners, mechanics. Easily removes grease, grime, and oil. It's a naturally powered soap. You can get 10% off your order by using the code SOAP at checkout at scrubbysoap.com.
They have several fragrances available. Holly, let's go to the hotline and bring in our guest for this week.
John Libs is the CEO and co-founder of Beetle Gone and Grub Gone and has a background in biological science. Welcome to the program, John.
Hi, thanks, Holly. Appreciate it.
Well, we want to thank you, and full transparency, you are a sponsor of the program. You've been with us for a number of years, supporting the program and getting the word out about Beetle Gone and Grub Gone, and we're going to talk a little bit about that before we get into some other topics. But a lot of people have asked us about what to do with grubs in their yard. What is the best method to get rid of them, and where do they come from initially? How can you answer that, John?
I sure can, and I know you had a nice Arctic blast here in the spring, and when the grubs travel up towards the surface of the soil profile, kind of early spring, 55 degrees Fahrenheit and higher, when the soil temperature reaches that level, they start working their way up, and you guys had that real cold weather in the upper Midwest, which probably killed off a whole lot of grubs, which is great news for you guys. But as far as trials go, we run a lot of trials and we test a lot of different application types. And I spoke a little bit last year about integrated pest management, or IPM. It's a best practice management for insect control. And what we found was this is the bottom line, if you mix 1 pound of our Grub Gone granular spreadable product for turf grub control plus 1 pound of an imidacloprid product, which is for both products is far below label rates. It's about half low label rate. You'll get the best performance of any regimen you can use. So that's the best, and that's called an IPM practice, and it's been practiced in agriculture for a long time. But if you're very much against using a chemical product, which I understand a lot of folks are against that, and a lot of our customers just want to use a non-chemical product like Grub Gone or Beetle Gone. Our products work very well. They test very well at the level of the chemicals. And then more importantly, in the hands of customers, they've done very well as far as controlling grubs and adult beetles on the Beetle Gone side. And where do grubs come from? Well, they're those beetles, they fly a long ways in the middle of summer. Kind of late summer, early fall, and they tend. You folks see Japanese beetle here and there. They're out in hordes during the day, and they're very let's say aggressive foliar feeders. So they can strip different types of plants down, about 300 different types of plants. They go after ornamental plants like roses, even ag crops like grapes and blueberries and trees. Linden trees as well. They're pretty tough and very noticeable. And what they'll do is late summer, they'll dive down into the soil profile where you happen to have been taking care of your yard, whether it's watering your lawn or watering your garden. That's where the beetles love to go to lay their eggs, and they'll hatch out as larvae called grubs, late summer, and they'll continue to grow through the fall and chomp away on the roots of your plants and turf. And what we found over the last 3, 4, 5 years is grubs are spreading everywhere. So we have them out on the West Coast, all the way from BC down to San Diego, and they're found around Denver Metro en masse now and spreading across the plains. So it's not a problem that's dwindling. It's actually getting to be a more widespread problem. There's a few reasons for that, but that's essentially where they come from. They just fly a long ways and they go where the water is and lay their eggs and repopulate.
Well, it's definitely very interesting. So conventional chemicals used on pests are harmful. Can you talk about their impact and why people may not know what their impact is and why they may not want to use them?
Sure. There was a big shift in the market about 12, 13 years ago. So the darling in the market, the leading chemical was called imidacloprid, and the leading product in which the active ingredient was imidacloprid were the Bayer Advanced products, and that chemical worked very, very well. It actually still, if you look at all the chemicals out in the market, that chemical is probably the best of the class. The problem was it was showing up as toxic to beneficials like bees and butterflies. And so people started getting more concerned about those issues, and rightly so. You had bee colony collapse, and also, monarch butterfly populations have been dwindling. So folks were getting concerned and went to legislators, and that particular chemical class, being imidacloprid, started becoming restricted out, first in residential or retail use for homeowners, and it's even spread into the pro channel in the Northeast and many states. Out in California here now, you cannot buy imidacloprid at garden centers now. And unfortunately, that chemical worked very well against grubs. So what replaced it was a chemical that's found in GrubX or the pro side channel Syngenta. Syngenta is a celloprene product, and that chemical has a better tox profile in that it doesn't kill bees, and it's a little better for beneficials. However, there are problems with it. It has a very long half-life, much longer than imidacloprid, and people tend to overuse the product. So this particular chemical is building up in the environment. It has a safer tox profile than the former chemical that was the leader, but it is building up in the environment over time. And it does have some tox effects. How it works is it inhibits molting in insects, and that's when they grow and pupate and go through different stages. And it attaches to these receptors called rhyodine receptors. And just so happens mammals have those in their muscles as well, like we have them in our heart muscle cells. So it's not as though this new chemical in these products is seen in the market. It's really marketed as very safe, but it still has its issues. So, and the kicker on this new chemical in our testing, it's actually not as effective against grubs. So I think that's one of the reasons you're probably seeing the grub populations grow and spread very quickly over the last 5-6 years, because the imidacloprid products are going away. They're being restricted out, and they're being replaced with this chemical, the newer chemical that just doesn't kill as effectively. In all the studies we've done out in the field, whether they're field trials or in the lab, where we directly dose different types of insects. So it's an interesting dynamic going on in the market.
Well, and the other thing is, a lot of gardeners, and and we know, that they feel, okay, I've got a problem, I got to go to the garden center, okay, it says it'll do this, and they just hammer that product to get rid of that problem, not knowing that there's side effects to using that product, either based on the label or excessively, because that bug has got to get rid of. We got to get rid of that bug, so we got to pour, and it really causes a lot of problems. But in return, Beetle Gone Grub Gone is unique in the aspect that it's much better for the environment. You talked about it doesn't harm bees, butterflies, or ladybugs, or beneficial insects like these other products do.
100%. And that's the key. I see a problem in my yard. I want to overuse a product because I just want to get rid of the problem. So I get it. The beautiful aspect of our products is the tox profile is so clean, you can actually overuse the products without any deleterious effect environmentally on your yard. The active ingredient is not a chemical, it's a protein, and carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen. It's a regular old protein, and it happens to bind to some different insects like grubs and Japanese beetle adults and some other weevils that are problems in turf. It binds to those, and then it causes this cascading effect of bad things to happen to those bugs. Whereas for the rest of us, the protein doesn't bind to us because we don't have the right biochemistry in our bodies. And we know all the deep science on this. We know it exactly what it does. It doesn't bind to mammals, us, beneficial insects even. And so it's just another protein source to us. So that's why it's so safe. It's just the specificity and the targeting of the protein active ingredient, whereas all the chemistries, the chemicals, they're much more broad spectrum, we say, and they hit a lot of different parts of all types of different organisms, whether they're beneficials, birds, fish, or mammals. And ours doesn't do that.
Fantastic. Is there a better way to switch to organic or a better time to switch to organic or non-chemical products? Is it just like whenever start now is the best time? Any sort of guidance there?
Yeah, so it's a tough call because I've noticed in the definitely non-chemical organic products have gained more popularity, and you're seeing new products come on the market, branded products. There's not really much in the way of new technologies, unfortunately. There's a lot more oil products coming on the market, and they're reformulations of oils and that type of thing. So not a lot of new non-chemical technology. So you kind of have to really dig in to understand how the different products work, and the people that use these products successfully, they'll come together with a regimen of using a few different products, even non-chemical products, to get the best outcome. So it is tougher to get the type of performance that you would want. But it's still, you can still do it. You just have to dig in and really research. But as far as timing during the year for our products, our products work well in the spring. For the Grub Gon, we say if it's the first time you've used it in a season, you'll want to use it in the spring. Again, when the soil temperature rises above 55 degrees Fahrenheit, that's when the grubs come up close enough to the surface where you can get to them. And then later in the summer, if you see Japanese beetle or other beetles disappear, or kind of mid-August or early August, I make a second application of Grub Gon. And what you'll be targeting there are the newly hatched larvae, in kind of that late summertime. And those are the easiest to kill, those grub larvae that are newly hatched, for all the products, not just ours. And so two applications of Grub Gon for the first season, then you can go back to one application kind of in that late summer, targeting those newly hatched grubs again. And then for Beetle Gon, it's really for foliar spray, to kill the adult beetles, whether again they're on ornamentals or fruit crops. It has it's labeled National Organic Program, OMRI, so it's a very safe product to use on your garden vegetables and fruits and plants. And we also, it's a very versatile product, so we have a lot of folks that'll till it in their garden soil dry. They won't spray it, or you can ground spray it. You can ground spray it on your soil to kill grubs. And actually, we have a lot of folks ground spray it on turf to kill grubs in turf instead of using the granular. But both products, it's kind of, you got the 1-2 punch of Grub Gon in the spring, then Beetle Gon in summer. Then you come back with Grub Gon in kind of the late summer.
That's great information. So many people are concerned about the efficacy of non-chemical solutions. Should they be? It doesn't sound like they should be, but I think that's a common myth for a lot of people still these days.
Yeah, I mean, again, you got to do your research. The more, let's say, kind of the knock on the non-chemicals is a lot of the upside history is based on testimonials. And the testimonials, they can be accurate, but they aren't always really acute in their accuracy. If you can find products like ours that have been very rigorously field tested, or they're being used by the pro channel guys, landscapers, agriculture guys, farmers, they aren't going to use products that, I mean, their livelihoods are on the line, right? So they're not going to use products that don't work. So if you can find non-chemical products, whether they're fungicides, herbicides, or insecticides that are being used by pro channel landscapers, I think those are probably pretty good products to use.
Well, John, we greatly appreciate the information, the support of our program, so everybody across the country can listen to it. Again, how can people find the products Beetle Gon and Grub Gon?
Yeah, you can, for the homeowners there, you can go to beetlegone.com and you can purchase Grub Gone or Beetle Gone there. There's also Company Sunday that's selling Grub Gone online. Joe Magazzi at Green Earth Ag and Turf, he sells quite a bit. But yeah, we're starting to distribute a little more widely, so you can poke around the internet and purchase it online, and in different regions of the country, you can walk into a retailer and purchase as well.
Well, John, thank you so much for the information and your time, not only for Holly and myself, but all of our listeners.
Yeah, you bet. Hey, enjoyed the conversation. Thanks, Joey. Thanks,
absolutely.
Holly.
And when we return, it's going to be your garden questions and our garden answers.
Gardening with Joey and Holly Radio. You're tuned into the Gardening with Joey and Holly Radio show.
Have a garden question? Give Joey and Holly a call now or anytime 24/7. Just dial 1-800-927-SHOW. If you can't get through, leave a message and they will call you back. Call now 1-800-927-SHOW.
Get higher yields with durable green bed raised garden bed kits designed to be drainable, breathable, pest resistant, and long lasting. DurableGreenBed.com. Abundance guaranteed.
Hello, gardeners! It's Ann from Neptune's Harvest Organic Fertilizers in Gloucester, Mass. If you're planting flowers, vegetables, shrubs, or just trying to keep your lawn healthy and green, then you should know about Neptune's Harvest. Neptune's Harvest fertilizers come from the mineral-rich North Atlantic Ocean, which contains all the nutrients plants and soil need. Flower growers, get your sunglasses out. You'll want to use them when you're looking at how bright those colors are. Vegetable growers, with Neptune's Harvest, you can achieve the amazing results you deserve for all your efforts. You'll have the most abundant, sweet-tasting supply of organically grown produce, and there's nothing like the taste of a fresh garden tomato you grew yourself. Neptune's Harvest works so great, whether you know what you're doing or not, you'll look good, and you'll feel good, because you're doing the right thing for the environment and your health. Try Neptune's Harvest products from the ocean to set your plants in motion. Available at your local garden center, and to learn more, go to neptunesharvest.com.
For the months of April and May of 2026, Neptune's Harvest is giving away 1 gallon of their fish and seaweed blend weekly at a $55 value, shipped right to your door to one lucky gardener. To enter, send an email to gardentalkradio@gmail.com. Subject line, enter me. Body copy, your name and state. This is open to all gardeners in the lower 48 contiguous United States. A winner will be drawn each week. If you are not the winner that week, your entry will roll over to the next week. Soil Diva Liquid Microbe Stimulant Spray improves the health of your plants you work hard to grow, stimulates the natural enzymes, and increases beneficial soil bacteria. Go to soildiva.net. Use coupon code RADIO15 to get 15% off your order at soildiva.net. Visit JankoGreenhouse.com to improve your garden today. Janko builds the strongest greenhouses on the market, large and small, guaranteed to meet or exceed your building codes, offering a lifetime warranty since 1948. Visit JankoGreenhouse.com.
If you want to control beetle and grub invaders without affecting the rest of the ecosystem in your yard, then Grub Gone and Beetle Gone are the solution. Phylums Grub Gone and Beetle Gone target a wide range of invasive and destructive beetles, weevils, and borers without harming non-targets such as bees, ladybugs, butterflies, earthworms, or other beneficial insects.
Grub Gone can be applied to the turf, garden, or around ornamental to control grubs and lessen the impact that those beetles have on your yard this summer. Biological that specifically targets grub and beetle invaders without harming those beneficial insects. Find them at and more information at grubgone.com and beetlegone.com.
Pomona's Universal Pectin is a high-quality pectin that gels reliably with low amounts of any sweetener. If you're trying to reduce the amount of sugar in your diet, you'll love Pomona's Universal Pectin. Now you can make healthy homemade jams and jellies sweetened to your taste. You can use sugar or honey to sweeten. Pomona's Universal Pectin keeps indefinitely when stored in an airtight container. Easy to use, versatile, and comes with directions and recipes in every box. Find out more and where to buy at PpomonaPectin.com. Also available at natural food stores and online.
Have insects such as aphids or fungal gnats invaded your plants? Fight back with Summit Year-Round Spray Oil and Summit Mosquito Bits. Organic Summit Year-Round Spray Oil kills insect pests on indoor and outdoor plants. All natural mosquito bits kill fungal gnats, larvae in container plants. Both products are harmless to people, plants, and wildlife. Summit year-round spray oil and Summit mosquito bit are available at garden centers, hardware stores, and at SummitResponsibleSolutions.com. Save your back. Easily and quickly remove trees and shrubs from your property with the Weed Wrench. Find it at weed-wrench.com. Made in the USA. Use coupon code JOEY to save $10 off your Weed Wrench at weed-wrench.com. Welcome back to the Gardening with Joey and Holly radio show. Happy to have you along. Want to find out more information about those companies and the coupon code availability? Our parent website, thewisconsinvegetablegardener.com, the money tab for the coupon codes, and the season 10 tab for all listings. Time for your garden questions and our garden answers. Send them on over to gardentalkradio@gmail.com. That's gardentalkradio@gmail.com, or you can give us a call toll free, coast to coast, 1-800-927-SHOW. That's 1-800-927-7469.
All right, how do I get tomato seedlings apart without hurting them? I have 3 to 5 per peat pellet, and I want to up pot them. Okay. So one thing I want to say is that that's good. You have 3 to 5 per peat pellet because you are going to probably lose a couple, and that's just part of up potting things.
So you got the peat pellets, it's a biodegradable netting that's around those tomato plants or whatever plants you got that is adequate for seed starting indoors. You're going to, first cut that netting off. Don't try to pull it because you're going to damage the root system. Take scissors and cut that netting off. 2, you're going to let that peat pellet dry out. Almost completely bone dry. You're going to see the plants begin to get a little wilty. That's the time you take and you can rub it between your hands, and all that peat or that cocoa core, whatever it's made out of, based on the manufacturer, will fall through your hands, and then you're going to catch the tomatoes, or you can roll it on a tabletop, and all of that, it'll break into a powder, and then you can gently remove your tomato plants and place them in the new container without too much damage, and you can plant them a little deeper.
Okay, so we have another question. I'm in zone 4B. When is a good time to plant blueberry bushes? So you want to do May, but after your soil has adjusted to the 4.5 to 5.5 pH range.
Yeah. That can take 6 months. That can take a year. You want to figure out what your pH level is, because if you plant blueberries in a spot where blueberries with the pH too high, the blueberries are not going to produce. So keep that in mind. Check your pH level first. Can you use cardboard as part of a lower layer when building raised beds? Would think it would be compostable, but maybe there has something with the ink or the glue. Thanks for any advice.
So you would want to
take the tape off.
Take the tape off, and then you want to put it in the bottom of a new bed, or just lay it on the outside edges and top it over with pine straw. That helps keep the weeds out, and makes the pine straw last longer. Yeah, you're layering it in the bed. 2 or 3 layers of cardboard's fine. You can throw pine needles in there as it breaks down, whatever. It's not necessarily going to help or hurt anything, but you can use that as mulch for on top of the bed. Now, this, based on the aggressiveness of the weeds in the garden that you're building this raised bed in, there's 2 thought processes. 1, put the cardboard down, 2 or 3 layers of cardboard, put your bed down, put the soil in, plant your plants, use the pine straw or leaf or whatever to mulch. Second is, if you've just got plain old grass, that's wonderful. If you've got problems with potential other plants and weeds, even though we talked about in the first segment, you can disturb some of the seeds. You could take and dig down like 1 or 2 inches and get that top layer of material, grasses, weed roots, whatever, and then put your bed and your cardboard down. Some people will do it that way. When we built our raised beds, we did just that. We did about 2 layers of cardboard in the backyard, 2x10s,
4x8, 4x12, 4x16 beds. We had a severe thistle problem that pierced through the cardboard and up through 10 inches of compost. And we fought with that, manually taking the shovel and digging around where that had come out of the compost and shearing it off at ground level where it would naturally be ground level, not the top of the raised bed, for about 4 to 5 months over the first growing season. At that point, by doing that, every time it grew back smaller and weaker until we made it so weak that it wouldn't come back. We did that the first year. Since then, never have had a thistle problem of any substantial measure. So keep that in mind. Your mileage may vary, but it does work. And you can apply synthetic or organic chemicals to rid like thistles themselves out, or like we talked about in the first segment, repetitively dig them out if they're small. Well, we are out of time, and we thank you for yours. Tune in the program next week where we will be talking about garden techniques that we use that work, as well as plants that planting options, shade, full sun, partial shade. We're going to talk about that, as well as Frank Himes will be with us, mushroom expert, and we'll answer your garden questions. So until next week, for
Holly Baird,
I'm Joey Baird, and we will see you in the garden.